Hello, dark artists, and welcome to Harry Potter and the Boys, a Harry Potter fan fiction podcast by me, Radio Mike, Reuben Solo.
Here I am. It's hard to believe you came up with that intro in 5 seconds.
Because before we started recording this, and if you haven't figured it out, Reuben is my guest. He's not just here; he is the guest on the show.
Hello.
But I was like, I just need to think of an intro, and then I just went. And then you thought that was the intro.
I thought you might do a little beatbox even for the intro of the show.
But no, like the intro's always related to HP.
Right, yeah, I've heard you say Potterheads, which is classic.
That's a classic, yeah.
And
Aslan haters.
Why Aslan? Because
I just assume there's like 3 factions of like people. Aslan haters, Potter haters, and Gandalf haters.
Yep. Yeah. I understand.
So if you love Harry Potter, you probably hate Aslan.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's true, but fuck it, why not? You know, let's divide society even further
into their fantasy fiction preferences. We always start this podcast by talking about Harry Potter. I've already said it. What's your experience with the P-Man? The P-Man, as I like to call him. Thank you for using that. Not the Pooh Man.
No, definitely not. My experience with the P-Man is, I read all the books.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the books. I read, I think I was reading the 5th when the last book came out.
Okay, right.
And I watched all the films.
Yeah.
And they were bad.
Really? Okay, so you're not a fan of any of the films?
Not really. I mean, you know what, I'll take it back. They're not bad. They're fine.
Are you looking at them from like a cinematic point of view, or like as a fan of Harry Potter? Like, I
think a bit of both. I mean, they're never going to live up to the books.
Yeah.
But also, they're just not great,
right,
pieces of cinema. Do you disagree?
I
know maybe I'm ruffling a few feathers because a lot of people love the movies.
No,
but
you're definitely not. Like, I think that movies 5 through 8, who are all directed by the same guy, are really vanilla in the way they are framed. But I do think the 3rd movie was really well directed and had a lot of good cinematography.
People love the 3rd one. I think Alfonso Cuarón is just sucking his own dick, to be honest with you.
So you didn't like Gravity or whatever?
No, I didn't like Gravity. All one take. Fucking congrats, mate. No, it was, you know, I have nothing against it, but I just, you know what? Also, Daniel Radcliffe is bad at acting.
Okay. I know a lot of people don't like Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
My thing with Daniel Radcliffe, and I think I've said it on the pod before, is that to me, it just becomes increasingly apparent throughout the movies how each time Daniel Radcliffe wants to be there less and less. Like, by the last movie, it's almost like you can see how much he hates being Harry Potter. He's like, when the fuck is this over? And then, like, yeah, I just think it's so clear that I think Rupert Grint was kind of like, I don't really mind doing this. This is pretty fun.
Yeah. I don't have any other gigs lined up, so.
Daniel Radcliffe's like, I fucking hate this. Like,
come on, I need to be in Bad Parents, Grandparents, or whatever the fuck that film was.
So do you have a favourite book and film?
My favourite book was number 5.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I don't think anything happens really in that book. Less happens.
Sirius Black dies.
Yeah, but that's like right at the end a lot happens. But then for most of it, they're just kind of like at school, not doing much.
Yeah, okay.
But for some reason, I really enjoyed it. And favorite film, I can't remember. Probably the last one, just because the most happens. That's always exciting.
And it was finally
over
for you
finished.
You hated it so
much.
My
favorite scene was the credits.
Yeah,
I couldn't get enough.
As soon as the opening and the ending credits come on, you're like, finally. But as a reader, like, do you read a lot? Like, outside of Harry Potter,
nowadays?
Yeah.
I read a lot less than I used to. When I was a kid, I used to read all the time.
Yeah.
But now I read mostly nonfiction.
Okay.
Because I'm, better than you.
Bit of a self-help guru. Well, speaking of nonfiction, and this is not strictly Harry Potter related, but there was a book on my desk called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff by Richard Carlson. This was given to me by a friend.
Yeah.
And you looked at it and cracked up. You thought it was the funniest thing ever. It's
all just hacky, cliched. Be aware of the snowball effect of your thinking. That actually sounds all right. Make peace with imperfection.
Yeah.
And then my favorite one, if we can just...
Yeah, in the contents page, you found a really good one. Read that one out to us.
Where'd it go?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Imagine the people in your life as tiny infants and as 100-year-old adults. Helpful.
Do you reckon if Harry Potter did that, he would have had more luck
with
Voldemort? It's just like...
If he imagined him as a tiny infant, which he is in one chapter.
Yeah.
Or as...
even... Sometimes in flashbacks, he's an infant. I
sure.
think, yeah.
Well, yeah, that would have helped a lot. I mean, we could wrap this whole shit up by book 3.
In terms of the books, is
Yep.
there like a character or storyline that you thought was really well told, or anything like that?
I'll be honest, it's been a while since I haven't watched the films in a long time. I haven't read the books in even longer.
You don't remember at all what happens in Harry Potter?
The last thing I heard about Harry Potter was the last episode of this podcast.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't remember really. I remember things because I've seen the movies a couple of times.
Yeah.
probably.
Okay. So you told me you've listened to like a couple episodes of this.
Mm-hmm.
What are your impressions of Harry Potter and the Boys, the fan fiction so far?
I think it's a wondrous tale.
Yes.
Woefully told.
So, but that's kind of good because that implies that like
Sure.
there is some good stuff behind the curtain. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out what happens is that chapter 10?
We're on chapter 10, yes. So we are going to
compelling
read that
title already.
Yes, it's a good title. The listeners will have seen the title because it's in the title of the podcast as well.
Of course, yep.
What house would you say you're in?
Can
I predict?
You can guess.
I'm guessing you'd either be a Slytherin or Ravenclaw.
You're definitely right. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pick, obviously, because, I'm also very brave as well. But, you got to pick one.
And you're a bit of an idiot, Hufflepuff, so you can really slot into any. People really hate that I make fun of Hufflepuffs a lot on this show.
Oh, you have to make fun of Hufflepuff.
Yeah, thanks for backing me up.
Of course. Fuck those guys.
So you reckon you're either Slytherin or Ravenclaw?
Yeah, I think when I did, Pottermore, I was Slytherin. I'm a bit of a bad guy. I'm a bit negative, but I'm also very clever, so...
So yeah, you definitely could. Depends which one's your better quality, I guess. If you're more negative or more intelligent. You're pretty intelligent. You could get into
Appreciate
Ravenclaw. And one more question before we get into the double Fs, which is the fan fiction.
Oh, okay. The P-Man double F.
The P-Man double Fs.
Yeah.
What is your Patronus?
Right. I heard you ask this question to a couple of other guests, and I had to have a think.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a favorite animal or anything.
Yeah.
So I thought I've come up with a few options. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
So first off, a wombat.
Okay.
Just because they look ridiculous.
Is that reflective of how you perceive yourself?
I think
you look pretty normal.
Thank you. I think it would just be funny.
Okay.
Because all the other Patronuses are like stags and stuff, and they're
lion,
graceful. Yeah.
Like big, majestic animals, the kings of the jungle, the beautiful,
And then I say Expecto Patronum, just short, stumpy wombat charges out.
No, it just burrows underground. It's like, oh, fuck this. It
disappears.
Okay, wombat would be good.
And then the other thought I had was maybe an ant.
Yeah, you never see... You're so right. You don't see any just like... inconvenient animals as Patronuses, Patroni.
Well, here's a question about the ant. Do they get blown up so they're all are they all the same size? Or would I just shoot out one ant?
I think so, because I think the stag Patronus is roughly the size of a stag. So it seems strange to me that you just have a giant ant.
Yeah, so it would just be one tiny ant. You would barely even see it.
Yeah, and my other thing with Patroni is now the official plural of Patronus. I don't know if
you said it, and I was like, "You're the expert, mate."
Oh, okay. So the thing about Patroni is, how come you never have magical animals as Patroni? Like they're all normal animals. Why can't you have like a basilisk Patroni?
That's a good question. Doesn't Dumbledore have a phoenix?
Ah, well, there you go. Dumbledore as a phoenix. There we go.
Oh, sorry about that.
And all right, just like a phoenix, this podcast is now back from the dead, and we are going into
very nice
chapter 10 of HP and the Bee. I will just quickly recap where we. Well, why don't you recap where we were at? Because you said you listened to last week's ep.
Yes.
Where were we at?
Well, actually, I might be confused because I listened to last week's ep and then I went back a bit.
Oh, okay.
I know it was called Triple Potions. The last step, they went to potions.
Yeah.
They went to Hagrid's. They went back to potions. They went to Hagrid's again.
You better go to potions now. Which is I love that. Yeah, that's the last chapter. So,
Yep.
and they were also given a detention from Mr. Charger, who is the mean potions teacher.
That's right, yep.
Hagrid,
squib.
Yeah, the
Dirty
squib.
squib.
Well, maybe.
Oh, maybe
well,
not.
I'm not going to give
Don't say
anything away,
anymore.
but take it away, Reuben. We start by reading out the chapter title.
Can I just point out here as
yeah.
well, I know you're the boss of the pod, but
Yes.
I'm holding a mic.
Do you want to swap mics?
You've got a...
Yeah. We need to swap mics. So you can have the mic that's on a branch or
and
a
that's better
mic
because
arm.
I have the computer here.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Bit of technical behind the scenes difficulties here.
Welcome to Harry Potter and the Boys. I'm the boss of the pod.
Maybe put it closer to your mouth.
Closer. This is chapter 10, Defense Against the Dark Farts / Arts. Now,
Which is so. Yeah, you go. What are your thoughts?
there's something else. This has popped up before, right?
Yeah, but I think in the earlier chapter it was Defense Against the Dark Arts / farts. So it seems
Wow.
like it's interchangeable.
Well, it seems like farts is taking precedence.
Yeah.
Getting more powerful, more dangerous.
It definitely sounds like that. Interestingly, on Defense Against, you're right. Like, so we know that at some point since Deathly Hallows, the dark arts have now re-emerged, but also a new dark art, which is we can only assume is the dark farts, has also come out. In the last chapter, Mr. Charger, the mean teacher, shot a green light out of his asshole
Yes, I
as some
remember that.
sort of spell.
So that you think that's the dark farts?
I mean, if it's not, I think that is the dark farts, but we might find out.
All right, well, I'm excited. Chapter 10. 2 weeks after the lesson, the boys were still wondering about their little... Off to a flying start.
So I just so people know, I like when people read this, I'm like leaning over their shoulder also
yes.
reading. So that's why I'm laughing, because I know what Reuben's laughing at. And it is funny. You guys will find out very soon, right now.
The boys were still wondering about their little anus incident with Mr. Charger. Do you think 13-year-old you knew that was a double entendre?
Wait, is it?
Just a little anus incident with the teacher?
No, they're just referring to
sounds
the incident where he
pretty
shot a spell out of
inappropriate.
his anus.
All right. Moving on, I'll be filing a complaint. But for some strange reason, potions had been their only lessons so far.
Which is true. We have had no lessons.
No other lessons.
No.
Okay.
But I assume in this chapter we will possibly have a Defense Against the Dark Farts / Arts class.
I'm excited. Did you notice that as well? That's strange. I guess the lazy author couldn't be bothered adding in any other classes. Now,
That's written in the book. So that wasn't an ad lib from
No,
Reuben.
you can usually tell by the way I'm reading it is I'm clearly reading the text here, and that is verbatim.
Yeah. So I like that in this book there's like a narrator character who speaks directly to the reader. I think it's a really great technique that I've used.
That I would have liked to see in Harry Potter. You know what I do find interesting though is that you say author,
Yes.
but it's co-authored.
What do you mean?
This book is co-authored, isn't
Oh,
it?
as in by the original
Yeah.
boys, yeah. I was actually thinking like one of the boys that I originally wrote the original text of this, I still am friends with. So I was going to get him on the podcast and just see if he remembered it. His name's Tom Cooper. Hey, Tom. Next.
Great. Okay. I guess the lazy author couldn't be bothered adding in any other classes. Now they had Defense Against the Dark Farts / Arts. Okay, so a bit of attempted humor from you immediately adding in another class after saying you hadn't added in. That's very clever, Mike.
But also, do we assume this is all happening on the first, like, is this all in the first day of the year? Of the school calendar?
No, because the first sentence of this chapter is 2 weeks after the lesson.
Yes, okay.
So for 2 weeks they had no classes.
Except
it was
all
free
right,
time and potions.
You had 3 potions classes. It's time to take 2 weeks off school, guys.
It's you binge classes at Hogwarts. three classes in one day and then 2 weeks off.
Real school should be like that.
The walked. I'm going to assume that's they.
Yeah, I think it is.
The walked down the corridor to the Defense Against the Dark Farts / Arts.
There's definitely a word missing in there as well.
Well, here we go. Wait a second. I did a typo there. What I meant to say was they walked down the corridor to the Defense Against the Dark Farts / Arts classroom. And then Sorry.
Yeah,
Just to
you
point
go,
out
you go.
another typo here. Classroom is spelled with three O's.
Yeah, but the other typo that wasn't picked up by the narrator there is it actually, well, it's not a typo.
Oh.
It's a word left out because it says, "They walked down to the corridor to the defense against the dark farts / arts."
Oh,
Like,
no
classroom.
No classroom.
Very,
Jesus
very.
Christ.
I think they are all legitimate decisions by the author, though.
You would have to assume so. It's
Yeah.
published. Just as they were about to enter the room, they found the weird loner from the train.
Okay, another character coming back.
Harold. Have we met Harold before? I assume so.
Yeah, so Harold appeared on the Hogwarts Express when they were on that, and one of the defining features about Harold was he had a strange star-shaped birthmark on his forehead.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So
I've
that
never
might-
heard of that before.
Yeah.
I wonder if you got any inspiration from somewhere. Okay. Does Harold have? Okay. There's a piece of dialogue coming up, and I want to know if Harold has a particular voice that I should be doing here.
I think just an idiotic kind of voice. Like no, he's like one of those nerdy kids at school. Annoying nerdy kid at school.
Okay. All right.
But I love the readers who do voices on this pod, so yeah, feel free to
alright.
improvise.
Harold.
Oh, hello.
He
Sure.
said. I gave it a bit of a bogan accent.
Yeah. I think you were kind of on point with the O, but
Okay,
the hello, yeah.
How was your first 2 weeks been at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry?
Love it.
Get lost, said Rob as they pushed in front of him.
Wow. They don't like him. He's a loner.
I can tell. I can tell by the way that one of the characters said "get lost."
yeah.
You know, there's subtext in it.
Yeah, I
which
mean,
is
you
good.
got to read between the lines a bit. The author can't spell it all out for you.
Luckily, you can. Thank
Yeah.
God you're here. I'm fucking getting author's commentary.
You're lucky. I mean, imagine if you were just left to read the text, you know?
They were just about to enter the room again when they heard a noise. It was definitely the voice of Mr. Charger. ... So halfway between a
I think
period and
that's
an
a-
ellipsis.
I think it's supposed to be a bit foreboding. Like, ooh,
Right,
what are they?
okay.
I think you're supposed to think, ooh, what are they saying? ... Maybe we'll find out here.
Well, it's not grammatically correct, so that's
Yeah,
what
it's
I
not.
was thinking. But and the voice that Mr. Charger was talking to and Sam. Oh, we're going on. Let's backtrack a bit. Let's backtrack. That was the most confusing thing I've ever read. I need a bit of run up to get into this sentence. They were just about to enter the room again when they heard a noise. It was definitely the voice of Mr. Charger. The voice that Mr. Charger was talking to and Sam recognized the third voice as the man he ran into back on page 6. What?
Yeah, I don't know what. Look, I wrote this. I don't know what. I don't know what this is.
So
So, Mr. Charger is talking
to someone, and
And
Sam
Sam
recognized the person that Mr. Charger's talking to.
Oh, so I know what this is. In the last chapter that Lewis read, when Mr. Charger shot the poo fart spell out of his bum hole, that he was talking to a voice. I think it was Voldemort
Yes,
because it
that's
was like
right.
a
I remember
snake-like voice. So I think it's
But on page 6, that wasn't on page 6.
no. So I get it now. So it was definitely the voice of Mr. Charger and the voice that Mr. Charger was talking to, and Sam recognized the third voice. So there's 3 voices. Sam recognized the third voice as
three
the man he
voices.
ran into back on page 6.
Okay.
I don't remember what happened on page 6.
All right. Here we go.
Tell him,
Okay. A snake-like voice coming up.
tell him to rise him with his skills.
Nice.
Said the snake-like voice. Rise him with your skills, said Mr. Charger.
So can the third person hear the voice? Because it sounds like Mr. Charger's like, okay, do I just say exactly what you said? Like, you know he can hear
Right.
you.
Rise him with your skills. Okay. The boys couldn't see what was happening, and if they opened the door, it would creak. That makes sense. A lack of WD-40 in
Yeah.
the wizarding world.
Is there a spell for that? WDS.
Well, they're not at that level, obviously.
Yeah,
They
they're
can't do
clearly,
that,
yeah.
No, it is illegal. Now, if you don't mind, I have a class to teach.
This is very
Says
interesting.
who? There's a real lack of clarity
Well,
in this
this
story.
is the
Who
other
says
voice. This is the third voice that Sam recognised from page 6. Keep
Okay,
up. The rest of the class is on
that?
page
So we've
32.
we got Mr. Charger. We've got
The snake-like
probably
voice.
Voldemort,
Yeah.
which is the snake-like voice.
Yeah.
And the other thing,
Third voice
The
that
third
Sam
voice.
recognised from page 6.
right, which
Yeah.
we're not going to figure out.
Well, we
because-
might.
Okay.
So I think we're both a bit confused at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, mate, that's a literary technique. You know, to keep us reading.
Yeah, to be like, what the fuck is going on? I have to keep reading.
The door opened and Mr. Charger, drenched in freezing cold water, came out of the door. He was holding.
Wait, the door opened and he came out of the door, or did he come out of the doorway?
Yeah. So he's a ghost. Actually, he comes out of the door. That's a
Well,
revelation.
I mean, wording like that does matter in a world where there are ghosts.
it really does.
I think he came out of the doorway.
Well, it's up to interpretation, and I think
is.
he's dead.
Okay,
personally.
well that's the freezing cold water implies he's alive though.
Okay. He was holding something that was wrapped in a dark black sheet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He stared at the boys and then ran out of the room idiotically.
For whatever reason, 13-year-old me loves the adjective or the adverb.
adverbs? I
Adverb,
think
yeah.
so.
He loves the adverb idiotically.
Idiotically. So you can do anything idiotically.
Well, I feel like running out of the room idiotically is like like that. I've just done it for the video.
Sort of like uncoordinated.
Yeah.
He he poked his tongue out at the boys in an idiotic way.
so he's running out like this. He's just going. No.
And if I can just backtrack, because this whole paragraph is a masterpiece. He stared at the boys and then ran out of the room idiotically. He poked his tongue out at the boys in an idiotic way. The boys began to suspect that he may be an idiot.
Hey, you know all that idiotic stuff he's doing. Do you think he could be an idiot?
The way
I
he
don't
ran
know.
and
We
the way
can't
he
make
poked his tongue out.
assumptions.
It's just they're just suspecting it.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, you can't know for sure.
And also not suspecting anything about the dark black sheet that he's holding. They're just, this guy's an idiot.
Hey, I think it's starting to become clear. He's an idiot.
Oh, God. Out of the blue. Oh, okay, new paragraph. Out of the blue, the short, angry, red-haired man from Diagon Alley came out of the door.
So he's also come out of the door.
You didn't know what a doorway was when you were 13.
So I do recall that in one of the earlier chapters, Sam bumped into an angry red-haired man in Diagon Alley. And I believe
Have they been to Diagon Alley already?
yeah, that was one of the first
okay.
few chapters.
Wow.
All right.
What's happened? Hello there, boys, he said happily. I am Professor Ron Weasley.
Oh, legacy character. High five for legacies.
Your new Defense Against the Dark Farts and /or arts teacher.
So it's interchangeable.
Well, I think what's happened is that's Ron's name for it.
Right, right.
Officially, it's dark arts /farts, but Ron wants to give the subject a bit more respect.
Yeah.
He's putting and/or.
And he's like, hey, you know, this class doesn't discriminate. If you're good at dark arts, you can do well in this class.
Yeah.
But if you're just good at dark farts, you can also do well in this class.
I like that from Ron. Now, hurry up, get in. I've got a special surprise for you today. He seemed incredibly nice, but he had a short temper. Okay, so not incredibly nice. That's two contradictory statements.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I've got a short temper.
Oh, that guy seems incredibly nice.
You know, aside from the short temper, he's not too bad.
It's like they learn one thing about him and they think he's nice and has a short temper. How is that possible?
He speaks to them for 4 seconds. Like, wow, this guy's such a well-rounded character.
Okay, which was shown, the short temper, which was shown when a Gryffindor girl called Sarah Hills told him she had forgotten her Defense Against the Dark Farts /arts for the Idiot and /or Idiot book. So just to recap there, the official textbook of Defense Against the Dark Arts /farts, or vice versa, is Defense Against the Dark Farts /arts for the Idiot and /or Idiots. which is great
Come on, kids, buy this book. You'll need it. You'll need it.
for dummies.
Yeah.
So do you think as 13-year-old you've forgotten what you originally titled the subject and then changed it?
I mean, I guess I'd have to. Like, it's definitely not a comedic device that it keeps changing. It's just me being an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to suspect I'm an idiot.
Yeah, really? 10 chapters in, you're only beginning? Been a lot of evidence. Well, oh, wow, here we go. Well, hurry up and get it, you stupid idiot fucking head.
Poor Sarah Hills. And again, we have to high five for, I believe, the 4th female character to appear in the book.
That's excellent.
Amongst probably the 30 male characters.
We're going to get there with the Bechdel test.
Yes, we will. We will.
And so incredibly short temper, but still overall an incredibly nice guy, you would think, after
Stupid
that
idiot
outburst.
fucking head.
Stupid idiot fucking head. Fucking spelled Fucken. Interesting. He yelled after slapping her hard across the face.
Whoa. You stupid idiot fucking head.
So it sounds like both Harry and Ron have a little bit of mental health issues going on, I think.
Something has gone on with the legacy characters. Hermione still seems pretty together and with it.
Yeah.
Ron, Harry don't seem too
Just
with it.
slapping kids left, right, and center. Yeah. And then, okay. Excuse me, all teachers and students. This is just a reminder that Derek is a disgrace to all wizards, the PA shouted.
Yeah, so this seems to happen every chapter. There's just a reminder from the school.
Out of nowhere, by the way. You haven't weaved it in cleverly or anything. It comes immediately after Ron slaps a different student across the head, and then we get this PA announcement.
My theory on it is that Harry has... I feel like Hermione is actually really running Hogwarts and Harry is just entitled the headmaster because no one wants to tear him down. So Harry just sort of sits in his office all day and then he's just like, oh, what can I do? And then he's like, oh, excuse me, everyone. Derek is a disgrace to all.
So your theory is this is Harry?
In my head, it's Harry, but
Okay,
it doesn't ever specify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next sentence is he began to walk around the room. The PA, that's...
Yeah, it's ambiguous. It's very
I'm going to
ambiguous.
assume we're talking about Ron, which we haven't talked about in a few lines, but...
Yeah, it is confusing, especially when you're breaking the book down sentence by sentence and you forget what's going on.
He began to walk around the room. He continued for about 5 more minutes. Then he walked up to a Slytherin named Gemini Jones,
Has appeared in previous chapters.
who was mentioned in the sorting chapter or something.
Well, sorry, I always explain things and then I've already explained.
It gets explained. Read ahead, Mike. Come on, mate.
It's like me as a 13-year-old was like, oh, what if people don't remember Gemini Jones? I better remind them that he was in that earlier chapter. It's a very accessible book.
That's true. It's a great podcast to tune into any episode you want.
Because everything gets explained all the time.
And nothing makes sense anyway. So Miss Gomez... Miss Gomes.
Okay.
So
he thinks Gemini Jones, who is a boy, is Miss Gomes.
That is stupid. He said idiotically. Okay, so Miss Gomes, I'm tempted to pronounce it Gomez. I feel like I'm going to get cancelled if I don't. So Miss Gomes, he was cut off by Gemini. Mr. Jones, Professor, Gemini said. Who cares about your name and whether you are male or female?
Surprisingly progressive.
Well, in a way, I guess, but also refuses to use their pronouns, right?
Yeah, it's like, I'll refer to you as whatever gender I want.
Yeah. It's not about you, it's about me.
Who cares about your name and whether you are male or female?
Professor Weasley yelled. Because we're alive. We are definitely alive. Definitely alive is in bold, and alive is also underlined.
And they're in italics.
So really as much emphasis as you could possibly give that line.
Which is now making me think that...
They're dead. Are they all dead?
I don't know. But like, why am I stressing the fact that Ron is saying that we are definitely alive? It's like The Matrix. It sounds like he's trying to convince them, yeah, this is real. This isn't a simulation. Like, everything's okay.
I mean, it's a great red herring. If this never gets brought up again, pretty funny red herring to just put that in with no context. Never brought up again. Okay. See, again, we're pausing so much, we miss crucial information that's happening the next sentence.
That's what this podcast is all about. Like, I bet there is no other podcast that examines any book in sentence by sentence detail.
Because we're alive. We are definitely alive. His nose began turning purple and his hair turned green.
That's very weird.
Now, who is scared of me right now? Is anyone in here scared of me? What?
I don't know. Reuben, I don't know.
3 or 4 students raised their hands.
And you'd have to imagine it's like a hesitant, like, yeah, I'm scared. I'm a bit scared.
Like, you just told us we're definitely alive and then your hair and nose changed color.
It does sound like he's about to murder someone. Like,
yeah.
Yeah? Who's scared of me right now? Huh?
Oh, that's good, Weasley said. You should be scared. Enhance the fear. Enhance the fear. Come on, ... Dance with me, boys. Dance with me. He started dancing up and down and fell over and landed straight into a pot.
So you're at school, your teacher starts going like, who's scared of me right now? Huh? Who's scared?
Who's
Come
scared
on.
of me?
Dance with me. Dance with me.
We're definitely alive. Let's dance, motherfuckers.
Ron has definitely had some Felix Felices today, which is the luck
I
potion.
think he's had a lot more than Felix Felicis.
Yeah, I think he's had a bit of ecstasy, possibly. He's a bit ecstatic.
He does seem a bit ecstatic. So he lands in a pot. For some reason, this sentence here, if we can just pause here, this actually seems like a very Harry Potter, like, or maybe just J.K. Rowling-esque sentence in the way it's...
Which
it's
one?
quite funny.
Which one?
He started dancing up and down and fell over and he landed straight into a pot. It's just like, I don't know, the way it's very...
Rowling-esque.
Yeah, it seems Rowling-esque.
Okay.
So well done.
Thank you.
Okay, I better teach you this spell now, he said, embarrassed.
So is he in the pot? Like, is he like, all right, I should probably teach you.
Well, he's not out of the pot.
I mean, we only know what we know. Yeah, you're right.
So he's in the pot.
I guess we assume until it's specified, he is still in the pot.
He's still in the pot, post-mental breakdown. And now he thinks, yeah, I'd better teach you the spell. So they're in class.
They're in class. This has been the class so far. Slapping a girl across the face, an interruption from the PA, calling the girl a stupid idiot fucking head, and then like this misgendering a student, and now this tirade about the world being a simulation and them being dead, and then falling in a pot.
Colours, trying to get everyone to dance with him, falling into a pot. Well, let's start the class.
Specifically the boys he wanted to dance with him.
Right.
Which is interesting because he did say earlier that he doesn't care what gender you are. So much going on here. So much going on.
A lot to break down in Ron's character. He's really gone off the rails since book 7.
Yeah.
This spell is a fun little spell that you can use to severely injure and hurt your friends when they are pissing you off.
So again, this really speaks to the barbarity of what Hogwarts has become.
Yeah. It can physically and mentally harm them permanently and is perfect for a stupid little joke. Never give Ron a wand, by the way. Even in the real books, don't give him a wand. They've made him Defense Against the Dark Farts teacher. What the hell?
Hey guys, here's a fun joke. Permanently, mentally, and physically harm your
It
friends.
sounds a lot like Sectum Sempra, except it's being taught to you by a teacher.
In the first class of the... Right, if there's any spell you need to know, forget Expelliarmus, you need to know this one.
It is called the Ronaldus Charm, so he's named it after himself.
Which implies he's invented it.
Yeah.
This is a Ron original.
Which it's going to backfire on him for sure. That's what I'm predicting. He made a student stand up. He aimed his wand. That seems oddly in past tense.
He aimed his wand.
He made a student stand up.
What should it be?
I mean, I guess that's
he
right.
He asked a student to stand up?
Yeah, it just seems like... I read that and I was like, that happened a while ago.
Oh, right. Know? Yeah, okay.
He aimed his wand at him and then he shouted out, Ronaldus McDonaldus.
So it's not named after him. It's actually named
Oh.
after Ronald McDonald.
That is...
The founder of a Muggle fast food chain that we can only assume Ron discovered after he married Hermione.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
You would
that.
have to imagine. So really a quite a good twist on there, because you do really think he's named it after
Yeah,
himself.
which
and then
suggests that he's vain, but he is a nice man.
he's
He does have
incredibly nice.
But he has a short,
Short
temper,
temper.
which we've seen all of this.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually getting suspicious that he's maybe not that nice of a man anymore. I haven't actually seen a lot of that. The student was suddenly on the floor, unconscious. His head had been
Yes.
his head had been chopped off, and he
Wow.
was bleeding severely. Well, you would think so.
What a
If you-
spell.
You have no more head.
Yeah.
So another character on the just bites the dust.
He's
Another
dead.
character going.
That student is dead.
You kill characters off with reckless abandon.
I'm a modern George R. Martin. I'm just killing him off. You love anonymous Gryffindor boy? Bam, he's dead. You don't expect it. You really don't see it coming.
I feel like a couple of key characters have died as well. Didn't the Draco Malfoy equivalent
Dragon
die?
Mail Boy did die.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Chapter 2 or 3,
Fuck
he
it.
was gone.
Why not? The class pointed and laughed at the boy. Okay. Makes sense. Professor Weasley then took out his mobile phone and took out...
Which raises so many
Which
more
raised
questions.
a lot of questions. Well, let me finish the fucking sentence. Professor Weasley then took out his mobile phone and took a picture of the dead boy, sending it to all his friends. He sent the boy to the hospital wing. Now you try it.
All right, that is messed up, and I'm sorry.
Right.
That is so messed up.
That's real. That's real, man.
But also sending him, Madam Pomfrey, could you just fix this one up for me,
Yeah,
please?
he's chopped his head off. He's bleeding severely. He's taken a pick, and he's gotten...
Well, also, sending him to the hospital wing implies that he's like, just head off to the hospital wing. But this
Yeah.
boy is decapitated.
He
Like,
can't.
does he just walk up to the hospital wing
He
holding his head?
levitates him. He just flicks a wand and sends him down a staircase. Oh, fuck, lost him. He's dead again.
Now you try it, he said.
It was chaos. Well, thank you for pointing that out. Everyone was trying out the Ronaldus charm on everyone. Oh, very good, he told Michael. Who? Who said that?
I think Ron. I
Rod?
think Ron's walking around the room going, oh, very good. Yes, very good.
Splendid, he told Rob. Excellent, he told Lockie. Shit. No, that's just a shit effort. Get out of Hogwarts. You're expelled. He told the boy called Lucas Bumpy Dump. Is that name modelled on anyone?
I don't think so.
Lucas Bumpy Dump. Lucas left the school and will never reappear in any Harry Potter stories ever again.
You don't get that in the real Harry Potters.
You don't get that closure.
Yeah, like, because imagine if at the end of Chamber of Secrets, she was like, Dobby will never appear again, right? But he did appear, so I guess
did.
that's why she didn't say it.
Well,
But yeah.
what if he said, what was the teacher in
Lockhart.
Lockhart?
He actually does reappear in book 5.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Oh,
at the
they
hospital.
visit him or something, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like that book so much. I just love Lockhart.
Lockhart is a great character because he's an arrogant fuckwit.
He's an idiot, quite frankly. Lucas left the school. Okay,
Yeah, so
he's gone. Lucas is gone. Another one bites the dust.
when
the bell-
amongst all this chaos, Lucas is like, how'd I end up getting expelled? Like,
People are dead on the floor. It's
He's
littered with corpses, and Lucas is expelled.
he's done a bad job at the very first spell they've been taught.
Basically, what Lucas has done is failed to kill someone, and he's been expelled from Hogwarts.
And like, he will never appear in the Harry Potter canon again.
He's
Like,
such a disgrace.
he won't even get a side story about him when this becomes a phenomenon.
Barely a footnote. Lucas, when the bell rang, everyone was disappointed because they loved that lesson, but they were happy because it was the weekend and the first Quidditch was tomorrow. The first Quidditch,
First
not
Quidditch,
match.
not the match, just the
Just
first
the
ever
game.
Quidditch.
They've gone back in time, seemingly. Gryffindor versus Slytherin, of course.
Yes.
Was there ever a game that wasn't Gryffindor versus
Yeah.
Slytherin? Did
We never see a Hufflepuff v Ravenclaw game, do
Never.
we? You assume they're playing, but you never
have to
see it.
assume so. They went down to the pitch for a small training session with Tim, brackets, Uthi, end bracket.
Just in case you weren't sure if his name
yeah.
was Timothy or Tim,
What
it's
it was
both.
short for.
Yeah.
Have we met Tim before?
Tim is, I believe, the captain of the Quidditch team, and he's a 7th year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have met him briefly in an earlier chapter.
They all played while Tim gave them hints on what to do. Okay, now pass it to Luke. No, to Sam Thompson.
Sam Thompson. That's the surname of both Sam and Tom, two of the boys. Sam and Tom, Sam Thompson.
Sam Thompson, and Tom Sam Thompson.
Yeah.
Are they related?
They're twins.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, good. Okay, Tom threw the ball at Luke, and Luke scored. Brackets, scored as in he scored a goal, not got laid. End brackets. Thanks for clearing that up. Because, I mean, who knows what's going on in this book? So that is actually quite helpful.
With all the idiots around, anything could happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was just having a shag on the Quidditch pitch and then got expelled. Okay, guys, that's all the time I have left. But I have a surprise for you, he said.
Not another Ronaldus charm.
I
This is
can't
what
wait.
Ron said.
The boys looked at each other in delight. On Sunday, there will be a small Quidditch competition run by me, and I want you all to compete. Be there or be square. If you don't come, I'll just kill myself. Don't worry if you don't come. I'll just kill myself. Don't worry.
Is this like... that's horrible, by the way, guys.
It's
That's
horrible.
like not good. And also... Like, that's like such an abusive technique.
Yeah, oh,
like,
yeah.
to get what you want. So everything about that is horrible, and I do not condone that. So I
And
shouldn't have written that.
Clearly some self-confidence issues going on with
Timothy.
Timothy.
Offie, yeah.
Tim Offie.
Yeah.
He starts it off. I love the contrast between be there or be square. If you don't come, I'll just kill myself.
It's pretty fucked. And you'd really hope... I'm glad there's another chapter. Let's say that.
Otherwise, what a cliffhanger. I
Yeah.
mean, it still is, because next chapter, who knows if Timothy will be alive next chapter.
But you couldn't... Usually books end, like, things end on, like, one cliffhanger. There are so many unexplained things
So,
that happened in that chapter.
Usually, well, I mean, really often, like, the point of a fanfic is to provide sort of answers, new narratives,
Yes.
answer some questions,
Yes.
find out what happened after this or in between this. This one raises a lot more questions than it answers.
It's almost creating an entirely new lore to Harry Potter.
Fucks the originals, to
Yeah.
be quite honest with you.
But I'm intrigued. Like, are you kind of intrigued about what's occurring here?
Yeah, there's...
But not in a good
You-
way?
It's like a car crash. You want to watch it, but what was I going to say? Oh, there's so many things that like it kind of are intriguing, but I have no idea if they're going to come back.
Yeah.
Are these guys even alive?
I don't know.
We don't know.
What would you say? Is there a highlight for you in terms of like the funniest moment or just a moment? Is there a highlight at all?
Of this chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, being definitely alive is one of the highlights.
Okay.
Ron slapping Sarah Hills and expelling
Lucas
what was his
Bumpy
name?
Dump.
Lucas Bumpy Dump.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We've got one email to read out, so we'll swap the laptop back over. So you grab, now we swap the mics.
Great.
back. All right.
Is this going to be from Amy?
This is from Amy, yeah. Do you know
Alright.
Amy? Or
No.
just from listening
just
to the
from
pod?
listening.
Yeah, this is from Amy.
Coming on a bit strong, Amy.
Amy, thank you for contributing. And everyone can feel free to contribute to the podcast, just like Amy does every week, on radiomicpod@gmail.com. Amy, just a quick one from Amy, and she's, like in the book, she's specified that it's a quick one. I can see that it's a quick one, but she's started with, hey Mike, quick
Good.
one from me.
Keep it in the style.
Yeah. Chapter 9 was great, which was last chapter. Chapter 9 was great. How good's this? Particularly the revival of the dark farts joke, which I definitely thought was just a one-liner from chapter 3.
Yeah.
There you go, Amy. This whole bloody chapter's
Wow.
about the
What
dark
a
farts.
treat for you, Amy.
I
But
al-
it's changed. What does she write it as? She just says
just
dark
dark
farts.
farts, yeah.
Right, so she's abbreviating it.
She's
Well, it's
abbreviating.
actually dark farts / arts.
Yeah, so
formerly known as dark arts / farts.
Yeah. I also 100% agree that everything J.K. Rowling said after the last line of Deathly Hallows should be ignored. Congrats on making it to the 10th episode. Thanks, Amy, official correspondent of Harry Potter and the Boys. So that's awesome.
Thank you, Amy. That's
What's up?
didn't expect her to spell her name that way at all. That
Yeah,
is
it's not. It's
that's
Amy.
a plot twist.
Yeah, Amy with it's spelled AIMEE, and the first E has a little one of those
What are they called
apostrophe
again?
Appendage.
Yeah, you know.
Amy,
you know what
write
I'm
in and explain what that is for us, please. All right, Reuben. That's Harry Potter and the Boys.
Thank you so much for having me on.
You know who one of my favorite boys is? This guy right next to me. Plug away. Plug all your shit.
Oh, I get to plug. Well, you can follow me on Instagram. I do skits, little short ones and long ones. I also put them on YouTube. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. They're all very funny.
Reuben Solo. Reuben R-E-U.
Probably should have said that. I mean, it is in the title. R-E-U, yeah. I don't think...
that's the hard one because I always try to go R-U-B, just Reuben, but it's R-E-U.
I'm not famous enough that it'll come up with if you spell it wrong. So I think you do
Yeah.
have to spell it right.
Yeah, but amazing short little sketches. The reels are really good. Like
Thank
you can
you.
just sit and scroll through all of Reuben's reels on Insta, and they're really funny. And the YouTube as well. A sketch
Very
went
kind.
up yesterday about the
Yes,
death.
yes, it did.
So that's awesome. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you for having me.
Will you come on again sometime? Maybe towards the end of
I
the
would love to keep talking about the P-Man. Let's do it.
All right, thanks guys for watching. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to the pod, leave a review, all that stuff. My name's Radio Mike, and Harry Potter and the Boys is the inside of my mind. See you, Reuben.
Bye.